All right. For the folks who are not interested in photo mode, I will present to you my findings. This is halfway towards the Hexster route, which is what I'm going to call it. The entire premise is, wouldn't it be really funny if we could have a version of 0 purple barriers in a real run, and it would actually save time? So let me pull this off a little bit. So first you just do insert your fucking version of 8 here. I know some people are like, yeah, but you gotta run. I don't give a fuck, okay? I would think this is funny. We escape a cube out of here, and this cube is going to, at least in spirit, be our companion for the entire rest of this. As it turns out, there's quite a few effective hex routes, or not hex routes, but hex solutions to puzzles, which we will see shortly. But it's also going to be necessary for the type of dog shit that we're going to be trying to pull off here. I'm smoking symbiotes. Alright, so over here, first you pop up onto here, do a little bit of... Okay, there's a guided, so I've somehow managed to miss the easiest guided in the world. Okay, you can just hop up here. Anyways, you hop over fence. Very fast solution for 1. It's probably the fastest solution for 1. From here, you walk out of this purple barrier, and this is the only checkpoint. From here until the rest of it, we're trying to warp back to 1. That is the joke, okay? So that's the setup. I have walked out of 1, and I give you a little wing. Next, what we do is we walk up here a ways, go here a ways, jump over this a ways, and then we can actually make a pretty, I wouldn't call it super fast, but you have a better straight line towards the solution of 2. This actually feels pretty nice. This is the sort of thing that would justify a clockwise route up the mountain for people who actually want to play the game. And then from here you can do, yeah, something like this. Pick up the cube, hop a Rooney in. Alright, so from here, this is where things go fucking weird. We first have to implement tech that, you know, I don't really... Oh, fuck's sake with these goddamn guided jumps. Okay, we're gonna jump backwards off of this hexahedron and try to jam ourselves in the corner long enough to trick the game into thinking that we're on stable ground. I don't know how the fuck this works. It just does. It's kind of complicated. Anyways, we jump up on here. This is all to avoid a purple barrier, by the way. I mean, I like the cube. The cube is nice. But this is all in the service of avoiding checkpoints that we're going to be hitting through the rest of this, right? Let's do a little bit of turbo here. So here is the first... I know. It's taken this long to get to the point where I already regret attempting this, right? So it's actually relatively easy to jump in. There's a strategy where you'd be able to do a little bit of finagling up of these... You can do someone has a video on this, right? I've done it. I just don't want to do it now because there we go. All right, and then you jump in and you'd have the cube with you and you do this. The problem is I have found no fucking way to get back out with the cube, or actually no fucking way out. Basically the purple, it's the purple barrier or nothing, right? If someone can figure out a way, even like if it's awful, miserable way to get out of here, with the cube, this saves the route. Like literally it makes this viable. Is finding the solution to this puzzle. This is the first thing. We don't have a way to do 3. So okay, fucking let's just pretend we're just not going to do 3, or 3 is not viable. And there are viable versions of this route that don't do 3, but we would much rather have 3 access to us, and it'll be evident as we keep going why that's the case. Continue up to 4. The way in, as usual, for some goddamn reason, super easy. The way out, an eldritch nightmare. If you can see these little fence post things, those have standable collisions, so just stand on it. You had to put the fucking hex on the other side of it because these act like barriers for some reason, but out. Grab the cube, jump from one to the other, put this on, Grab the cube. And then jump back out. Alright, we're popping off. So we've done 4 without needing to get the checkpoint at this point, right? So we've gone a ways away. 5 is the easiest one, and honestly, feels really nice to pull off. Like, look at that. Oh, it's actually my favorite. I love it. Way back out. Relatively easy as usual. Why am I jammed in here? Okay. Fucking. Okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, bud. Okay. Okay, we have a way to do this. I'm just shit at this right now, okay? Anyways, we jump back out. Now, there's a second fucking diversion that we do have to talk about here before we get over to 6. And that is this lost puzzle. This lost puzzle holds the other key that we don't have access to this route for, right? If we can solve 3 in a way, or we can solve this in a way, then the route becomes viable. And if we can do both, the route becomes like really attractive. So that's kind of the problem. There are ways to get in. This cube is a little bit precarious, but you could do this, and then, yeah, at no point have I hit the checkpoint. I'm sure these jumps are negotiable if asinine. Yeah, buddy. And then you hit this fucking thing and you call it a day. Problem is, I don't know the fucking way to get out of here. If 3 was dire, this is hopeless. Like, there really isn't a whole lot to be doing here. Does this tree have, like, collision you could stand on? Very funny joke. But no. And I don't think these terminals have anything. I'm not here to test things. I'm here to show things. Anywho, the idea being, if we had a way to do this, that would also solve some of our problems. Okay. But for now, we're just going to ignore that as well. I'm sure there's some not so unattractive routing where you do lost puzzle, snake through here, whatever, right? The last piece of the puzzle, which I'm going to grab the spark early for, but it's assumed that you're coming to this level with a spark for this express purpose. If there's any invariant in this world, it's that W26 will suck, has sucked, and will always suck in terms of timing. So we'll want a spark for this. Please stop being so asinine. This is actually genuinely not that difficult. Okay, there we go. Bring the cube with us, and we spark it. Bango. And then the way back out is actually not the worst thing in the world, but it is kind of weird. Basically have a time limit from the cube sliding down. And now we're at a crossroads. See, the issue now is, as you can see, I have 6 out of 8, right? So from here I need to get 2 more puzzles solved. If I can solve 1 of 3 or lost puzzle, I can do 7, which isn't great, but, you know, I'll give it a demonstration. And hopefully this shows off. Like, look at how much fucking walking. This is why, by the way, clockwise routes don't work. It's that fucking travel. Like, if there was a better way up, like, if you could walk up this mountain, maybe viable. But anyways, we would rather not do this. But if you did have to do this, there are ways of not hitting checkpoint here. You can jump over to this rock, up to here. Oh, please, come on, don't fucking do this to me. Pretend that I was able to grab the cube. I'm not fucking dealing with this. Over here, up this a ways, and then you can do 7. So now, yeah, so here's the rub, right? You restart checkpoint, and thus is the punchline to the joke. We are back at 1 again, right? So if you can solve 1 of either 3 or lost puzzle while having a cube inside of there, then you would be able to do 7, and then it'd be like a route worth considering, right? If you can do both, you can avoid 7, and then it's the best route possible. Since I have neither of these, this is actually not a real route. So that's that's where I'm at in terms of the Hexster route. I hope somebody takes a look at this and goes, hey, I'll give it a shot, and is less disappointed by the result than I am. Best of luck, folks. The race is on.